Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for Bspn's production of Meeting with the Manager. I'm your host, Phil Acio, and we're halfway through the season here. We're starting to pick apart who's worth it and who's not. Tonight we have a very special guest on the show, manager CJ Robertson from Team Spongebob, a team that's really been coming on. I'd like to welcome him to the show tonight. CJ, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Phil. Thanks for having me. Long-time viewer, first-time caller, first-time video caller.
Well, hey, we're just glad you've been watching because not many people do. So, and I'm glad to have you on the show. I've wanted to for a while. The problem is your team has been bad, so it's just, the studio won't let me do it. I've voiced my opinion several times, but, I don't have that much pull around here with Dick taking all the airtime. So,
wow. Thank you, Phil. I'm glad you're a supporter of me. Thank you.
Of course. So basically, we just want to ask you a few questions about your season tonight, see how it's going, see if you have anything for the league. So to start off, like I said, you've really come on lately. You got a great team. Back-to-back wins for the first time since the 2020 season, which I just want to take a second to appreciate that stat because that's something mind-blowing. So what do you think about that? And what do you think it says about, the direction of your team at this time?
Phil, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm coming for that championship. Okay, this team is just on a roll. Ever since freaking whatchamacallit went down, Rashad Penny, I bet on that, and I talked to Spina about that when we were drafting, all right? I said, I'm going to take Kenneth Walker because I know Rashad Penny is going to go down. And now Kenneth Walker stepped in, looks like a beast. I got both the rookie running backs ready to go. And yeah, this train is a rolling, or Alaskan bullworm, as I like to put it. It's a rolling, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, Kenneth Walker has been a great addition for your team. You were very patient keeping him. Side story, in another league, I had Kenneth Walker and I decided to drop him the week before Rashad Penny got hurt. But then I had a negative feeling and I picked him back up. So I would say that's the ultimate luck.
Oof, good luck there, Phil. Good luck there, Phil.
Absolutely. And he's become a nice starting piece for your team as well. So, obviously you've had some struggles in the past. You've dealt with adversity, not dealt with it well. And I don't mean to offend you, but your team has gone through some horrible losing streaks. And the future is looking bright now for you. So let me just ask you, did you change anything about your draft strategy this year or anything that you were doing, leading up to the season?
No change. No change this draft year. Just got lucky. There were some questionable picks that gave me my luck. Obviously, I don't remember who took them, but whoever took Cam Akers that early, me and Spina were just cracking up about that, honestly. Because that was an overdraft of overdrafts.
That was a manager who now goes by the name of the Great Buy. And
that's who I'm playing this weekend. He's going to get fucking crushed.
There we go. He's taking Cam Akers, and he has Darrell Henderson on his bench as well. So he's been rocking both of them. That's just great.
Hey, it don't matter if you had Derrick Henry starting, all right? Because I'm about to dominate this boy.
And so we've already talked about, Kenneth Walker and how he's emerged. And then also, to note DeAndre Hopkins coming back from his suspension is really shaped up to improve your team. How do you feel your team is shaping up? I know you already mentioned championship ambitions, but just how proud are you to see those pieces come together in real time and just know that it's happening and your team is rapidly improving in the season?
It's just nice to finally see it coming together, like you said, back-to-back wins for the first time. The boys are finally getting it going. I'm excited to finally be, competitive again. I think bad luck on the injury front last year when I had Derrick Henry definitely hurt me. But yeah, I'm loving DeAndre Hopkins. If Devontae Adams can just not throw together a 1-catch, 2-yard performance, that'd be great. Because that made me sweat against Judge Judy, which I was very nervous about. But, we got the win, and this train's a rolling, baby.
Hey, I hear you. It's rolling fast, too. I heard you just got a text. You might want to answer that. I know you're very busy on the trade deadline and everything like that. So if you need to check at any time, we can make that happen.
No worries, all right? I just have my little secretary do it or whatever for Team
Hey,
SpongeBob.
perfect. And we know you got it like that. So,
You know it.
so the rest of your year, how do you plan on separating yourselves? Obviously, you are in a tough position. You got some real competitors ahead of you, including the team leader in points, Duval Diamonds, and then the hot streak, Grim Reaper, just winning, a massive amount of games. How do you plan to make the championship run?
Just keeping this team together. Duval Diamonds, they have been extremely thirsty for one player in particular, DJ Moore. They will just bother me all the time about him. Just want to keep my team together. I've seen some really bad trades this year. Noah in particular is probably the worst negotiator of all time. He sends the worst trades I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And then tries to make you look dumb whenever you reject it.
Yeah, he really pushes some bullshit. And if you watch the midseason award leaders, his name was definitely mentioned alongside manager Samuel Brichta for worst trades. So, they really try to push things on you. And if you see them in your inbox, just, make sure it's not happening. So,
I get a new email every day telling me that there's a new trade from one of those two, and it's always shit. So,
always
it's
bad.
Fine. And then this clown, Duval Diamonds, just wanted to offer me straight up Mike Williams for DJ Moore. And no thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to put some serious thought into dealing with this guy and making trades at this point in the season. Your team's very hot. And, make it realistic, make it good for you and get what you can from him.
When it comes to trades, sorry to interrupt you there, Phil.
Hey, you're perfectly
When it comes to trades, I only want to make it good for me, all right? I want to shit on the other team and just make it good for me.
Exactly like manager Noah Bennett. And I respect that. I really do. Improve your team, do what you can.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
So as I mentioned, you have some rough competition in your division. What do you think about, never making the playoffs? Do you give much thought to that? And obviously you're the only team in the league to not make the playoffs at this point, and you've been in the league for quite some time. So does that seep into your mind, or you kind of just brush that off the shoulders, keep looking forward, or what?
I've faced disappointment so many times over so many years. Obviously, I'm one of the elder statesmen here. Been with this league since the beginning, and just disappointment after disappointment. But this is the year. I take every game seriously, no matter what. Unlike some other people in this league, who will just send up bullshit lineups. But yeah, I just brush it right off. On to the next one.
Absolutely. And you've done a great job these past 2 weeks. It looks like several of our analysts have had you going for 4 of your next 5 of your next 6 games in a row, have you going to the playoffs. And, there was some controversy around that, and I understand why, just given the history, but I do think your team's very capable. And as we've mentioned many times during this show, it's coming together, and I think it's clicked perfectly into place. You had a unanimous decision voting your team the winner, I believe 2 weeks in a row with the preview that came out on Thursday. So, your team's you're making it happen. So that's great, and I'm glad to see it.
Phil, let me interrupt you there. All right, I am very happy that these analysts are finally getting their heads out of their ass. Okay, and they're finally starting to drink that Team SpongeBob Kool-Aid, baby.
Hey, and I love a good Kool-Aid, but sometimes, you got to drink water, and water is winning in this case, and that your team hasn't had any water. You're basically an umbrella or a water repellent. I really don't know.
Yeah, Phil, that was pretty terrible. Thanks for that great analogy.
That's not what I'm paid for. I ask the investigative questions. I do the inside reporting, and I shit on Dick Aiken and paint on his trailer.
Hey, Dick Aiken's a believer, though, all right? He's in for this team, baby.
Hey, there we go. He is.
Come on now.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, though. I've noted that several times, and it's okay. I digress. So let me ask you something. We talked a little bit about, people being in your inbox, Sam, Noah, Robert, trying to get certain players from you. The trade deadline is now less than 3 weeks away. Do you see yourself making any trades? Are you interested in trading with the league if it's, a good enough trade?
Absolutely not. These other managers are like little vultures trying to scavenge, from my team and seeing it as this dead team. All right. But this team has come alive just like Frankenstein, and they're going all the way, baby.
Well, how about on the other side? Have you offered any trades to try to improve anything about your team, or are you just kind of sticking with the personnel at this point?
I'm nervous about the quarterback position. I won't lie to you there. All right, Phil. As long as Kirk Cousins is playing at 1 o'clock when the lights are the absolute lowest, that man is gonna kill it. All right. I just gotta hope and pray that the Vikings, when I make the playoffs, are not playing any night games or any primetime games.
Yeah, a like quarterback, like manager. Neither of you can perform in prime time, and y'all proved that again and again. So we're happy to see that. And we're happy for you. But what about you? I'm gonna give you the floor here. Do you have anything to say to the rest of the managers in the league who doubted you, the analysts who doubted you, maybe people on your side, or what do you want to say? This is your time to give us whatever you got.
I'm always watching your videos, Phil. All right, every single one, and I felt a little stab in the back from the last one with manager Spina calling me one of the bottom feeders. All right. So I'm coming from Mr. Spina himself. All right. He ain't a wizard like you all proclaim and you all just like dick ride him all the time long. All right. He ain't that good. All right. I'm coming for his ass.
Well, I love the energy. We've been critical, and I'll be the first to admit that, but I'm glad your team's improving, and I'm looking forward to you having much success in the future. Next year, you might want to start the success a little bit earlier in the season, but all the same, I'm glad to see you do it, and thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really appreciate having you on.
Bill, huge fan. Definitely appreciate everything, bringing me on the show. But God forbid your analysis of me was not very good. And you're eating crow right now, baby, because this team is going to the playoffs, and not only going to the playoffs for the first time, winning this championship. All right? Mark it, put it in your bag. That's 100% guarantee.
I've said before, I love a confident manager. Any amount of confidence, I love it and I appreciate it. And to that I say, I'll see you in the playoffs. And I hope that everybody enjoys this. Again.
All right, boy. Duval Diamonds is 8 out.
Possibly. I have no affiliation with Duval Diamonds.
I know. I'm just telling you my inside source. All right.
All right. Hey,
they're desperate. So.
Here it is.